Alright, let's get into it. If you're a web developer, your world is the browser, a neat, predictable little box where everything behaves itself. But the same stack we use every day, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, it has started to wander out of the browser, onto walls, airports, restaurants, office lobbies, and at first glance, it feels familiar. Same tools, same skills, job done. It isn't, because the moment your code hits a physical screen, a lot of your instincts stop helping. Some of them quietly betray you. Digital signage looks like front-end development. It behaves more like stagecraft. The biggest shift is this: the idea of a user session disappears. No one is sitting down, focused, ready to click around. No tidy journey from landing page to conversion. Your audience is walking past, mid-conversation, half looking at their phone, occasionally glancing up and thinking, well, same as it ever was. You are not designing for interaction. You are designing for a glance, 2 or 3 seconds if you are lucky. Which means all the things we lean on in web UX, navigation, affordances, progressive disclosure, they fade into the background. What matters now is legibility, contrast, hierarchy. Can someone understand this while moving, distracted, already on their way somewhere else? If not, it does not matter how elegant your component structure is. It has already gone. Under the hood, things still look familiar. Most of the time, it is a Chromium-based browser in kiosk mode on a small player, but the environment changes everything. In some ways, it is simpler. Fixed resolutions, usually 1080p or 4K. No wrestling with breakpoints. You design it once and it stays put. Lovely. In other ways, it is harder in all the places that actually matter. Viewing distance, glare, motion, competing with everything else happening in the real world. On the web, your competition is another tab. On a wall, your competition is life. Conversations, phone calls, someone trying to work out where they are meant to be. You are not center stage. You are the passing moment. Then there is the engineering reality. A website might live for a few minutes. A signage app is expected to run for weeks without anyone watching it. No refresh, no second chances. That tiny memory leak you ignored before, that is now a slow fuse. Given enough time, it will take the whole thing down, so the things we used to treat as polish start to look more like survival. Keeping the main thread clear, managing memory properly, being deliberate about animation, not because it looks slick, but because it keeps the lights on, and then you hit the hardware. As web developers, we rarely think about it. The browser keeps it out of sight. In signage, you feel it, the limits of the player, the GPU, even the temperature in the room. Take the obvious trap. You see a 4K screen and think, I should build this in 4K. You should not. Most signage players render at 1080p and upscale. Feed them heavyweight 4K assets and you get stutter, drop frames, and a device that starts to struggle. So you design for what the hardware can actually handle, not what it claims on the box. Same with video. Your laptop will happily chew through high bitrate footage. A signage player will not. Push it too far and everything slows down, like it is wading through treacle, and the hardware pushes back in other ways. Leave something static on screen long enough and you risk burn-in. Your UI is not just presenting information, it is slowly aging the display. So now your code is responsible for protecting the screen as well as driving it. Subtle movement, shifting elements, managing brightness, small decisions repeated over time. Then there is the network. On the web, we tend to assume it is there. In signage, it will disappear, not occasionally, inevitably. A blank screen is not an option. So you design for that from the start. Cache what matters, fall back gracefully, make sure the screen always has something to say, even when the connection drops. What all of this adds up to is a different mindset. You are not building pages, you are building something that lives out in the world. Something that has to keep going, make sense quickly, and behave well on hardware that is not particularly forgiving. Same skills, different physics, and you may find yourself looking at a wall of screens, asking how you got here. The answer is simple. Your code left the browser. So the question becomes, now that your canvas is the room itself, what are you going to put on it?